Sometimes when we've had a long, tiring day, we might want to unwind by watching some good anime series, especially those isekai themed animes, with an overpowered main character, that allows us to dive into another fantasy world, and witnesses a powerful main character, who do his best to live in such a different realm, that is way divergent from the real one we actually live in. Before we start, be sure you subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notifications of new videos.
Forth Rage Shield!
Number 10 Naofumi Iwatani, from the Rising of the Shield Hero. Naofumi was done wrong, which bred a lot of controversy around this anime and his character, but is still one of the best isekai protagonists in recent years. While the controversy surrounding the Rising of the Shield Hero dwindled down after the series wrapped up, it instead turned into amazement at how different fans were expecting this anime to progress. Despite being the shield hero, which is considered the weakest out of the others, Naofumi has almost perfect defense and can even be offensive with some of his shields. Put in a demonic shield that overtakes his mind sometimes, and that is quite a mix of strengths. Number 9 Hajime Nagomo, from Arifureta, from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Just like Naofumi from the Rising of the Shield Hero, Hajime was not taken seriously as he was called an incompetent fool who could not do anything. Hajime is an anti-hero who strived to become strong after being made fun of for being weak. The one difference between them is Hajime's sadistic nature, as he uses his powers of mutation and strength to fight his enemies. He can even damage a person's organs without even trying, which is quite a feat. Number 8 Seiya Ryogan, from Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. Seiya Ryogan is one of the newer insanely powerful in the mainstream of isekai anime. It is even said in the title that he is overpowered, so what else would you expect? Not for such an overpowered protagonist to be cautious about killing a single slime, I bet. Although Seiya is overpowered, he refuses to fight an enemy he is not sure he can defeat and has a worrisome personality, thinking everyone he meets has a deadly illness. While Seiya can beat anyone because he is overpowered, his cautiousness puts him on the bottom of the list. Number 7 Diablo, from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Diablo, whose real name is Takuma Sakamoto, was summoned to the world of his favorite MMORPG Cross Reverie as his in-game character. It turns out that Diablo is known as the true Demon King and has the overwhelming power to defeat anyone in the game, no matter their status. Even if they have better equipment or are at a higher level than him, he can always beat them. He also admits to holding back when he does defeat his enemies. Number 6 Sadav Mao, from The Devil is a Part-Time. Extraordinary powers ranging from mind control, teleportation, regeneration, and even the ability to harm others by staring at you.
Forgive me for being such a complete and total tool.
Number 5 Shin Wulford, from Wise Man's Grandchild. Shin Wulford is another isekai protagonist who is new to the world of anime. After Shin died from an unknown cause that surprisingly enough was not Truck-kun, he is reincarnated as the grandson of Merlin Wulford, who happens to be the most powerful magician in that universe. Shin is extremely powerful and can use his knowledge of his past life to make himself stronger. The one thing about him is that he does not understand how powerful he is, so he ends up overdoing it all of the time. Number 4 Kazuto Kirigaya, from Sword Art Online. If you were around when Sword Art Online came out, you should have heard of an anime character named Kirito. While his real name is Kazuto Kirigaya, everyone calls him by his in-game name after being trapped in the game for so long. Granted, Kirito was a beta tester and a solo player, so the reasoning behind him being overpowered is a given. But when you somehow beat a boss while dying, that is something to wonder. Number 3 Tanya de Gurechaf, from Saga of Tanya the Evil. Before being reincarnated as a 13-year-old girl in the middle of a war, Tanya de Gurechaf was a salaryman who was very harsh. Because of that, he was murdered by one of his subordinates and sent to a world by a god that Tanya calls, being X, as she does not believe in such a thing. Tanya worked up the ranks to become a lieutenant colonel and has a masterful grip of magic. While she is cruel and merciless, she also has the skills to crush her enemies without feeling any remorse.
Awaken! Gluttony!
Complete. Order accepted. Executing immediately.
Number 2 Rimuru Tempest, from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Rimuru Tempest was a kind boss who was murdered in lieu of his subordinate but was instead reincarnated in another world as a slime. He gained a skill called Predator, that allowed him to gain skills by absorbing things, such as grass or even his enemies.
Put an end to this. Disintegration!
If you thought being a slime would be a weak role, then you were mistaken, as Rimuru is one of the most powerful protagonists of Isekai anime in recent years. Number 1 Isekai, from Overlord. Isekai was an ordinary human until he was transported to Yggdrasil and became his in-game character. Now an Overlord class, one that has no human emotions, Isekai is perhaps the coldest Isekai protagonist out there. Because he played the game so much, he has so many skills and items that are rare and make him extremely powerful. He has an arsenal of magic, weapons, and strategies up his sleeves and is capable of beating anyone without trying hard. He did not even have to move to kill one of the strongest mercenaries in the game, he simply tapped him and he died. Alright everyone, that is it from today's video on top 10 best Isekai anime with overpowered main character. If you do not agree with the points in the video and have some of your own opinions, share them with us in the comments section down below. And if you like this video, then do share with your friends.